A bombshell has detonated in Rick Harrison's world. The Pawn Stars icon is accused of masterminding a chilling assassination attempt against a bitter rival, a plan that crashed in flames. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel to uncover this heart-stopping conspiracy. In July 2025, a leak sent shockwaves through Las Vegas. Rick Harrison TV's shrewdest dealmaker allegedly plotted to eliminate a powerful enemy. The motive, a toxic feud over money, power, and pride. This isn't idle gossip. Coded messages, vanished witnesses, and a web of betrayal expose a scheme that could shatter Rick's empire. With fake jail rumors, family tragedy, and a faltering podcasts, his life is spiraling. Who was the target? Why did the plot fail? And who's pulling the strings? Rick Harrison forged his name through grit. Born in Lexington, North Carolina, he grew up in a military family, moving constantly before landing in San Diego. His father, Richard Old Man Harrison, launched the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop in 1989 after a Navy career. Rick joined young, mastering the art of spotting value in coins, guns, and cars. No college degree, but his raw hustle made him a negotiation genius. By 2003, he co-owned the shop, transforming it into a Las Vegas legend. Pawn Stars hit screens in 2009, flaunting Rick's sharp tongue and knack for unearthing gems like George Washington's suit or a 1969 Gibson Les Paul. Over 20 seasons, millions watched him barter history. His $9 million net worth in 2025 reflects a life of high-stakes deals. But this conspiracy tested his limits. The drama ignited in 2023 when Rick crossed paths with Julian Voss, a Las Vegas real estate tycoon and secret investor in a rival pawn network. Voss, a slick operator with a $75 million empire, portrayed Rick to partner on a deal, a $2 million collection of Civil War artifacts, including a Confederate general's sword. Rick invested $1 million expecting a 50-50 split. But Voss double-crossed him, selling the collection privately for $4 million and cutting Rick out. Furious Rick threatened legal action, but Voss's lawyers buried the case. The betrayal stung deeper when Voss bragged at a 2024 Vegas gala, calling Rick a small-time huckster. The feud boiled as Voss outbid Rick for a 1925 Duesenberg Model J at a 2024 auction, costing Rick a $700,000 profit. Sources say Rick saw Voss as a mortal threat, not just to his wallet, but to his reign over Vegas's antique trade. By 2025, Rick's life was a pressure cooker. His son Adam's death from a fentanyl overdose in January 2024 fueled his public crusade against drug trafficking, backing Trump's border policies on Fox News. The stance split fans, earning both loyalty and hate. Fake YouTube videos claiming Rick was serving life in prison racked up 3 million views before Snopes debunked them as AI forgeries. His March 2025 engagement to Angie Polushkin sparked tabloid buzz, but a 2022 lawsuit with his mother Joanne over shop ownership left lingering wounds, settled out of court, but never forgotten. With Pawn Stars on indefinite hiatus and his podcast Pawn After Dark struggling to gain traction, Rick was desperate for control. Voss's relentless jabs, including a 2025 X post mocking Rick's fading empire, pushed him over the edge. The alleged plot erupted in July 2020 when a hacker group, Vegas Shadow, leaked files to a blog, Desert Truth. The documents, unverified but chilling, claimed Rick hired a hitman, Nathan Drake, to neutralize Voss. Drake, a former mercenary with ties to Vegas's underworld, was offered $3 million to stage a disappearance. No bloodshed, just a scare to drive Voss out of town. The plan: sabotage Voss's yacht during an August 2025 cruise off Miami, forcing him to abandon his Vegas ventures. The files allege Rick funneled payments through a Cayman Islands account linked to a pawn shop shell company, using burner phones to coordinate with Drake. But the scheme imploded when Drake, rattled by a tip about federal surveillance, ditched the job and disappeared, leaving Rick vulnerable. The leak unleashed pandemonium. TikTok lit up with theories, some tying the plot to a 2024 deal where Voss allegedly sabotaged Rick's bid for a $5 million coin collection. Others linked it to the prison hoax, claiming the same hackers fabricated the assassination story to destroy Rick. X posts fingered Chumley, Rick's podcast co-host, as the leaker, citing his 2016 guilty plea for drug and weapon charges as proof of shaky loyalty. Chumley's 2025 splurges, a new Ferrari, a Bahamas villa, sparked rumors he'd sold Rick out for cash. Fans were torn. Was Rick a scheming villain or a framed hero? Rick hit back hard. In an August 2025 Instagram video, he branded the accusations vicious lies and swore to sue. But a pawn after dark teaser promising the truth about my betrayers in October suggested he was holding cards close. He hired private investigator Sarah Kane to clear his name. Kane's discoveries were jaw-dropping. Drake was real, a 2D23 contractor for Rick hired to secure rare shipments. Kane traced him to a 2025 meeting in Phoenix with a figure tied to Voss's real estate firm, hinting Voss orchestrated the leak to frame Rick. The documents, Kane argued, were suspiciously clean, forged to mimic Rick's style but lacking concrete evidence. Voss's refusal to comment only thickened the plot. The plan's collapse was complex. Drake didn't just bail, he was warned. Kane uncovered a cryptic text from an untraceable number alerting Drake to an FBI probe. The number traced to a Vegas prepaid phone, but the trail ended. Suspicion fell on Corey Harrison, Rick's son and shop manager. Corey's 2023 DUI arrest had strained their relationship, and whispers of his resentment over Rick's iron grip grew. Did Corey leak the plan to save the family from ruin? Rick rejected this, but Corey's absence from podcast recordings fueled doubts. Another theory targeted Joanne, Rick's mother. The Boy 2 lawsuit left bad blood, and some speculated she tipped off Drake to sabotage Rick. Joanne's cryptic ex post-blood doesn't always mean loyalty kept the rumor mill churning. Social media became a battleground. A Reddit thread with 80,000 upvotes claimed Voss hired the hackers to plant the files tying them to the 2020 female prison hoax. A YouTube channel, Sin City Secrets, posted a video alleging a Vegas cartel, a cabal of tycoons shielding Voss, framed Rick to protect their turf. The video hit 5 million views despite zero proof. Fans scoured Rick's past, dragging up his 1980s bankruptcy and Chumlee's 2016 charges to paint him as cornered. TikTok detectives shared grainy screenshots, supposedly Drake's text mentioning the pawn boss's hit. The chaos peaked when a fake X account posing as Voss tweeted, "Rick wanted me gone, but I'm the king." The account vanished, but screenshots went viral. Rick's empire bled. The shop's revenue plummeted 30% as tourists spooked by crime boss rumors steered clear. Pawn After Dark floundered, listeners craving conspiracy over antique trivia. Angie's engagement, meant to be a bright spot, was tainted by claims Rick funded her $600,000 ring with shady cash. His Fox News tirades against fentanyl, rooted in Adam's death, were slammed as hypocritical if he targeted Voss. Rick's Trump support cost fans who tied his politics to a do-or-die mindset. He countered with a $1 million reward for the leaker's identity. Scammers flooded in with fake voicemails and doctored emails, but one lead stood out: a former shop intern, Lily Carter, fired in 2024 for botching a Tiffany lamp deal. Carter, now in Los Angeles, posted Instagram cryptic captions like "Secrets pay better than pawn." Kane tracked her, finding links to a hacker group behind the prison hoax. Was Carter the whistleblower or a decoy? Voss's shadow loomed large. A 2025 Bloomberg profile painted him as a predator, crushing rivals with lawsuits and buyouts. His real estate firm, Apex Holdings, dominated Vegas, and his pawn network challenged Rick's turf. Voss's 2024 Duesenberg grab wasn't just business, it was a slap at Rick's pride. Kane uncovered a 2023 text from Voss to a dealer calling Rick a dinosaur who needs to disappear. Did Voss lure Rick into a trap, banking on his temper? The yacht sabotage, if real, was sloppy. Drake's skills were in protection, not intricate plots. Some theorize Voss leaked the scheme using Rick's ego to bury him without lifting a finger. Rick's personal cost was crushing. Adam's death still haunted him, and the conspiracy ripped open scars. He confided in Angie about dreading the shop's collapse, his anchor since 1989. Corey's loyalty wavered, his silence hinting at a breaking point. Chumlee's absence from public events cemented betrayal rumors. His 2016 charges made him an easy target. Joanne's peace offering rang hollow, tainted by past feuds. Rick's health buckled, stress triggered a 2025 ER visit for heart palpitations, hushed but leaked on TikTok. His inner circle, once a fortress, was fracturing. The 2022 lawsuit had bared family rifts, and the plot rumors tore them wider. The conspiracy's tentacles spread. Kane found ties between Drake and a dark web marketplace peddling Vegas intel. A 2025 post mentioned the Pawn King's downfall, suggesting a grander scheme to crush Rick. The prison hoax with its AI fakes wasn't random. It softened Rick's image, making the assassination story stick. A 24 cyber attack on the shop's servers, initially blamed on Chinese hackers, resurfaced as possible sabotage by Voss's allies. No evidence connected the dots, but the patterns were unsettling. Rick's reward offer yielded only fraud-fake confessions clogged his email. A Nevada woman arrested for extortion claimed she'd forged the files to scam Rick. Lies buried truth deeper. By September 2025, Rick stood at a precipice. The shop's debts soared from legal battles and lost revenue. Selling to a casino chain loomed a death knell for the Harrison legacy. Kane's investigation hit a wall. Voss's legal team stonewalled, and Carter vanished after her LA posts. The Phoenix meeting where Drake met Voss's man was the only lead, but witnesses vanished. Rick banked on his October podcast teasing the real enemy exposed. Insiders hinted he'd name a new player, not Voss or Chumley, but someone tied to the 2023 artifact deal. The teaser showing Rick holding the Confederate sword exploded with 3 million views. Skeptics called it a ratings grab. Could Rick, the deal-making wizard, outsmart this maze? Rick's ascent wasn't chance. From a Navy brat to TV titan, he defied odds. The 1980s bankruptcy, Chumley's 2016 scandal, Corey's 2023 DUI, each time Rick rebuilt. Pawn Star's 2009 premiere with 4 million viewers proved his knack for turning junk into gold. But this plot was a beast. It wasn't just money, it was honor, trust, and legacy. Voss's shadow mirrored Rick's ambition, but colder. If Rick cleared his name, he'd be a legend. If not, he'd be a cautionary tale. Theories spiraled. A Reddit thread claimed Voss staged the plot to dodge a 2025 SEC probe using Rick as a smokescreen. Another post tied Chumley's 2016 plea to federal snitches, painting him as a mole. Wild X rumors targeted Angie, her Russian roots spun into KGB fantasies. Rick squashed these, but his circle frayed. Kane's final report offered no answers. The Phoenix lead died and the text source stayed hidden. Rick faced a grim truth: the mastermind might walk free. The fallout reshaped Rick's universe. Pawn After Dark tanked listeners bored by pawn talk when they craved plot twists. The shop's Google reviews crashed tourists, branding it crooked. Rick's Trump stance blasted on Fox News lost fans who saw the plot as proof of ruthlessness. He doubled down, blaming media for the hoax and rumors. But trust dissolved. Corey hinted at walking away, fed up with drama. Chumley's social media went dark, fueling flight rumors. Angie faced tabloid hounds over her ring's origins. Rick's legacy hung by a thread. He'd built a global brand, outshining Vegas icons. Pawn Stars redefined reality TV, blending history with hustle. His $9 million fortune from deals like a $150,000 Babe Ruth jersey was hard-earned. But the plot bared flaws, family feuds, past scandals, blind spots. Rick's eye for fakes missed Voss's game. His empire, once unshakable, was crumbling. The Voss feud kept the story burning. A 2025 Vegas Sun piece detailed his cutthroat tactics, lending weight to the frame-up theory. Fans flooded X with memes, some vilifying Rick, others hailing him as a victim. A Hulu pitch for the pawn conspiracy emerged, but Rick declined, wary of scrutiny. He focused on the reward, praying for a break. As October loomed, the podcast became his last stand. Would Rick name the puppet master or bluff? To save face, the plot had cost millions in revenue and respect. Redemption felt distant, but Rick's defiance kept hope alive. What's the truth? Did Rick plot to erase Voss, or was he framed? Is this a tycoon's vendetta or a desperate publicity stunt? Comment 1 if you believe Rick's guilty, 0 if you think he's innocent. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for the latest on Rick Harrison, and Pawn Stars. Turn on notifications to catch every twist in this electrifying conspiracy.